Tennessee, NC State. We got a ranked matchup. Tennessee's first ranked matchup of the year. The Dukes Mayo Classic in Charlotte, North Carolina coming down the pipe. But first, the Vol View begins right now.
Football time in Tennessee.
Indeed it is. It is football time in Tennessee, and the Tennessee Volunteers have a big matchup, the first ranked one of the season against the NC State Wolfpack. And I'm actually wearing a, if y'all can see it here, a Tennessee basketball shirt. And the reason I'm doing that is because NC State traditionally has been regarded as a more basketball-oriented school, more so than football, because of the simple fact that the ACC traditionally has been the college basketball conference of note. Here's the thing, though. Now that's Tennessee. And we're going to be talking about Vols basketball and Dalton Knecht doing what he did last year and the fact that he's now a Los Angeles Laker. That hurts me to my core. It really does. But that aside, Tennessee surpassed NC State in basketball, and they're certainly surpassing them in the game of football. So this upcoming matchup, the Dukes Mayo Classic in Charlotte, North Carolina, going to be the home in Bank of America Stadium, the home of the Carolina Panthers. So this is a kind of an unofficial home game in some ways for NC State. I'm sure Tennessee fans will do what Tennessee fans always do, and that is travel very well. So in this matchup, Tennessee is favored. Is it minus 9.5 now? It's minus 9.5. The line was like at one point, like 4.5. It's gone up to 9.5 for Tennessee. So here's the thing. And I'm going to make a bold proclamation now, but I believe it to my core, is that you saw last week in Tennessee's 69-3 win against Chattanooga. I had 56-10. I underrated Tennessee. That does not happen much, ladies and gentlemen. But Nico Iamaleava, you better learn to remember that name and learn how to pronounce his full name, his last name, everything. Because against Chattanooga, not only does he go 22 of 28, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half, not only that, did you see some of those throws that he made? We can't show it here on YouTube because of some copyright reasons, but go look up Nico Iamaleava. See, I'm still learning how to say his name. On YouTube, highlights against Chattanooga. Some of those deep balls down the left sideline, some of those throws over the middle to guys like Brew McCoy were special. And it shows you why he was the #1 high school quarterback coming out of high school, going to the University of Tennessee. So the thing that I said about the Vols coming into this season, I had them going 10-2 and nabbing a college football playoff spot, the 9 seed to be exact. And I still feel that's about where I feel like that they'll be because the SEC is so strong. Josh Heupel, when he took over as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, he had a certain type of identity offensively that he used with Hendon Hooker for 2 years. And they kind of had to change that with Joe Milton in 2023 just because of certain limitations in terms of not seeing the field as well as Hooker did, not being able to move as well as Hooker did. Monster arm. The guy, honest to God, I've said before about Joe Milton, for his flaws, I honestly think he can throw a football further than Josh Allen. And that's not a shot at Allen. That's a credit to Joe Milton. The guy can absolutely throw missiles. They called him like Bazooka Joe at Tennessee. I think they still call him that now with the New England Patriots. The point of that is Josh Heupel's offense, being able to get the run the football, having the run. This is the thing about Tennessee gets misconstrued. The run sets up the pass. Being able to run the football with guys like Dylan Sampson sets up the pass game for Brew McCoy, for Squirrel White, Thornton, a bunch of other guys on that Tennessee offensive skill position group. The offensive line played well against Chattanooga, but come on, it's Chattanooga. So here's the thing about NC State. They come into this game ranked the 24th in the country. Kudos to them. In a weird ACC, they were able to take care of business against Western Carolina, 38-21. Now, 21 points to Western Carolina. It poses some questions about them defensively. Here's what's going to happen. It's 7:30 kickoff Eastern time in Charlotte, North Carolina. ESPN and ABC are going to have their #1 broadcast crew, Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, and Holly Rowe on the call in Charlotte. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this football game. Like the big game of the weekend is obviously Texas-Michigan, which kicks off at noon. But once that game's over, once people kind of settle in, maybe if you're hosting a college football watch party, maybe you order some pizza for the night. I know I certainly am. Or some wings or whatever. You're watching the sports bar, whatever the case may be. You're going to settle down once the night approaches, once 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time approaches, and you're going to see this kid who wears number 8 for the University of Tennessee Volunteers. He's going to be wearing all white, the Stormtrooper uniform, which I love that. I love that Tennessee calls it that because I love Star Wars. The Stormtrooper uniform, all white, baby. White helmet, white jersey, white pants, white socks, white shoes, white everything. In terms of the uniforms that Tennessee is going to be wearing, they're going to come in looking like $1 million, and Nico Iamaleava, I'm going to say it right, Iamaleava is going to light the world on fire. He's going to throw 4 touchdown passes, and Tennessee is going to look fantastic offensively. So much so to where we're at in week 2 early this season. Nico is going to be right alongside Travis Hunter, who's phenomenal for Colorado. 1 and 2, neck and neck for the Heisman lead. Now, that means nothing in September. We're looking at the calendar today. It's September 6th, 2024. The game's going to be played on September 7th. So it doesn't mean a ton. We understand that the Heisman Trophy race, that really kind of heats up late October on. Nonetheless, for a national audience for the first time, the bowl game against Iowa was one thing. It's his first big national TV game as the bona fide starting quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers football program. You're going to see what this kid can do. You're going to see his arm strength. You're going to see his mobility. You're going to see some of the throws that he can make over the middle, the zip that he has on that football. Not many guys I've seen in college that can make it. Caleb Williams could. Trevor Lawrence could. There's certain guys who had just monster arms, could fit it into just about any window possible. This kid can. There's a reason he was number 1 out of high school. There's a reason he's going to show he's the number 1 quarterback in college football at the University of Tennessee. The beauty of it is, for me and for other Vols fans, he's coming back next year. So you're going to see Nico on television playing in big games in the Southeastern Conference for the next 2 seasons. And defensively, James Pierce played, if the memory serves me correct, if my notes serve me correct, 12 snaps. Didn't play much at all. James Pierce, universally regarded as the best defensive player in college football, will potentially be the first non-quarterback selected in this upcoming NFL draft. You're going to see him turned loose by Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator for the Vols, and coming after the kid. I think McCall is the kid's name, the quarterback for NC State. He's having a long night in Charlotte, North Carolina, because the Tennessee Volunteers, do we have the graphic right now? I think if we can get the graphic up here as quickly as possible. The Tennessee Volunteers are going to take care of business. They're going to cover the spread, -9.5, and they're going to win this football game 31-20. NC State will have their moments offensively. Again, McCall's not bad. I think that's the kid's name, the quarterback for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Is it McCall? Is that his name? Grayson McCall. Nice player. But he's no Nico Iamaleava. Tennessee wins this game, starts 2-0, and just moves on up. Just like the Jeffersons, moving on up in those rankings, and will make his first Heisman statement of the year. We will not look back at this game and say, oh, that's his Heisman moment. That would have to come against an Alabama, dare I say, and I don't, by the way, not yet, but against Georgia, the big Heisman moment, potentially against Oklahoma in a couple of weeks, who knows? It won't be his Heisman moment that we'll see in Charlotte, North Carolina, but what we're going to see from Nico against a much better defense, obviously, than what he faced last week in Chattanooga, is the different types of throws that he can make that blows. The NFL scouts are going to be watching this. Josh Heupel's going to have all the calls, all the calls ready to go. The run game's going to be strong with Dylan Sampson, my man, physical runner in between the tackles. Does not stop until the whistle blows. Nico's going to make a Heisman statement, his first one of the season. So that is it for this week's edition of the Vol View. Tennessee, can we put up the score one more time? Tennessee 31, NC State 20. Volunteers start 2-0. That is it for this week's edition of the Vol View. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.